A tier video ranking MLS kits in 2025. How original! How's it going, everyone? It's your soccer zombie, Tom Franklin here, and yes, we are just 1 week away until we play competitive soccer once again, and we play games that actually matter on the scoreboard. It's going to be a cold one next week, though, so we'll be marching in, but we'll probably be bundling up and maybe hovering around each other for warmth, which, as you know, Energizer Park can be kind of a cozy place anyway. Hopefully your MLS stadium, if you're a fan of another club, is also very cozy as well, because it's going to be nippy. And I want to thank everyone for their response to the kit reveal video that I did on Friday, and I also want to thank St. Louis City once again for not just inviting me to the kit reveal, but I will say as a disclaimer that I got this kit for free. They actually gave me a kit in exchange for attending their event and doing some coverage of it. So I do want to make that clear that this kit did not cost me anything. I think I told some of you that I wasn't going to plan on buying this kit this year. Well, I still haven't bought it because they gave it to me. But how does this kit stack up to other kits around MLS? Well, let's go and pull up the old tier maker and find out. So we've got the handy tier maker pulled up here, and as you can see, all 30 kits are listed down below. I'm actually blocking a couple of them right now, including one particular blue one that I don't think a lot of St. Louis fans particularly care for, just because of the badge that is on said kit. But as I move along, you'll see the kits start to pop up as we go. So we are going to start off with Atlanta United, and I do want to point out that these rankings are just simply what I like. You know, I'm not going to tell you that there is strict categories or a system or anything like this. This is just based purely on vibes, and hopefully you're okay with that. So as I said, the first one is Atlanta United here, and as you can see, they kind of gone with the classic look here, the vertical black and red striping. Of course, they are also hamstrung by the new 2000s era style template that everyone is being, forced to use for Adidas reasons. But it's a classic standard look. I really don't have a big issue with this one at all. I think it's pretty clean, considering the template that it's being based off of here. And it's fine. It is a perfectly fine kit, but the only thing that hurts it is that it is kind of similar to other Atlanta United kits that we've seen in the recent past, but I don't know. I think it looks kind of sharp. So I'm going to give this one, actually, I'm going to give it an A. A for Atlanta. And if that gives you an idea of how the other kits might be ranked, maybe you think I'm too generous with that, let me know in the comments below. But there's not a lot of MLS kits that I truly love this year. So A might be a bit on a curve for not just Atlanta, but for others as well. Next kit up is at not Atlanta, I just did Atlanta. Austin is up. This very green kit. So St. Louis City made a very obvious statement in that they are unapologetically red. Well, I guess Austin is being unapologetically green. There is no other club that is leaning as hard into the green color as Austin FC are, which is their brand. It's fine. Personally, though, I think it's a bit too much green. I mean, I don't know if I would ever wear this in public, to be quite honest with you. It's okay. I think the black striping, with the template actually kind of makes it look a little demon-like, which is cool, I guess. I don't hate it. I have no reason to hate it. It's very Austin. I do like the little sleeve badge there with the bird, but it's fine. It's fine. I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's just not me, but I like the effort that was put into it. So I'll just give it a B. I think it's fine. I think it's fine, but not one I would buy personally. Next one up, we have Charlotte FC. Charlotte FC, they are rolling out the Fortress kit this year. Now, you can't really tell from these little tier maker boxes here, but there is some detailing when you look up very closely. Again, it's a choice that St. Louis made with the five diagonal stripes that, it's one of those things like you have to like see it really close to see it, which can be good, can be bad. In the case of Charlotte's, like you have to really be in the right light to see this detailing. Otherwise, it kind of just looks like a black jersey to me, honestly. It looks like another black jersey. And if it's just, it just looks kind of plain. It just looks kind of plain, if I'm being honest with you here. I guess it would be a B if I'm in the right light, but since I have to be in the right light for it, I'm gonna give it a C. It doesn't do much for me. It just does not do much for me. Next one up, and by the way, as I'm doing this, I'm looking at screens with bigger versions of these jerseys so I can kind of get a better look at them as I roll along here. Next one we have up here is another boring ass one, honestly. Chicago Fire. A plain white jersey. It's basically all it is. I mean, again, there is some detailing when you look closely here, but the club is literally called Fire. There's nothing fire about this jersey here. There is nothing fire going on here. It is a basic white shirt with a little blue. I guess it's a little bit blue, but like, I don't know. It's a D tier for me. It does not do anything for me, honestly. This would be like if I was a Chicago Fire fan, I might buy it because, I'd be obligated to buy my home kits if possible, depending on how much of a fan I am. I don't know. I don't know. It does nothing for me. Next one up is FC Cincinnati. And I like this one, actually. It's colorful. The blue and the orange, I think, I've always kind of thought of this as an underrated look. They contrast off each other really well. And it looks like that the actual kit itself, has a bit of different shading to it. Like almost like a bit of a gradient on the front. But then you have the orange, I guess you can call it a sash that goes along the front here. Sashes are always going to get, some props for me for sure. It works around the template okay. It does kind of cut off the sash on the corner here just a little bit, but I like it. I think it's a solid one. I'm not a Cincy fan, so it's not one I would buy personally, but I'll give it an A. I think it's a pretty good kit, honestly. I admire kits that are colorful. That's one reason I like Forward Madison kits very well, just because they're colorful, they're different, they pop at you. If they don't pop, they're not getting an A. Next one up here, we're gonna stay in the state of Ohio for this one, just for synergy reasons. Columbus Crew. And I'm not a big fan of this one. Like it's Goosebumps themed, which is pretty cool. Honest, I grew up reading the Goosebumps books, and it Columbus is home to R.L. Stine, the writer of the Goosebumps books. It's not bad. It does have a unique design to it. Again, the 2025 template just doesn't really work too well with it, with the horns going up the side there. It just doesn't connect to anything, really. It just really feels like, teams really had to work around this template a lot this year. But it's okay. I think it's okay. And okay in this tier for me is a B. I think it's fine. It doesn't jump out at me, but it's fine. And I like the nod to the local author R.L. Stine, and I was a Goosebumps fan growing up. Absolutely. Next one up is one that I actually like quite a lot, and this might be a little controversial. Colorado Rapids. So I saw the leak for this before, and it looked like blue cheese to me with the spots, but it wasn't the best quality of image. And I've had now the actual kit has been revealed, and I really do like this front here. This one is not quite a day one purchase for me as a neutral like Minnesota's was last year. The Galaxy kit that Minnesota had was, chef's kiss. This one is not far off from that for me. I really like it. It's clean. It's got a unique design. I'm a sucker for blue, so that helps it. I'm giving this one an S tier, and let me know in the comments below if I'm insane for thinking that. I just really like that Colorado kit a lot. One that I don't like as much, but I think it's actually okay for what it is, and I admire it for working around the template, is DC United. So DC United, when you first look at it, if you're just looking at the small, graphic on Tier Maker here, it doesn't look like anything to write home about. But when you see the actual pictures of it up close, it's actually kind of a unique jersey. It's got, you got contrasting kind of brown and orange along the collar and along the stripes. And then the template, they actually did make colorful. So they tried to actually work with the template a little bit. It kind of works. It's not one of my favorites. I admire the effort. It's the 2025 Soul Kit is what it's called. I admire the effort. I almost want to put it in A, but I think I'm going to put it in B, but it's like a B plus for me. I mean, I think it was a good effort. It was actually a very good effort. Next one up is FC Dallas, and I'm just going to put this one straight in D tier. I'm sorry, and the D does not necessarily stand for Dallas. It stands for dud, because this is just a plain white jersey with some red around the template. It's like they could not figure out how to work with that template. And I think, again, this template just really screws a lot of, potentially good jerseys this year. But, and again, it's got some detailing when you look at it up close, but you have to be up close to see it. It sometimes works when you have jerseys like that, but for me, it doesn't. And this is the Inferno kit, and they made the badge all red, which is kind of cool, but this isn't one I'm running out to spend $165 on. I'm just not that thrilled with it. Next one up is Houston Dynamo. And if you thought the Dallas jersey was too plain, this might surprise you, but I actually kind of like this Dynamo kit. It has detailing that you can see a little further. It's got that kind of wavy, kind of crisscross pattern to it. That looks kind of nice, gives it a bit of texture to it, which is good. I've also it reminds me favorably to like a Netherlands kit. I always like this kind of shade of orange. It's just one of my favorite colors. And it does honor 20 seasons. It's got that honor on there on the bottom corner there. It's also got the 20 on the back, which is pretty cool. I like this one. I think it's fine. I'm gonna go with it's a B plus. It's a B plus, just like the DC was. I think it's good. I think it's, you know what? Actually, no, I'll take it back. I'm gonna put it as an A minus. I like it. I just like that shade of orange. The template does, with the white, does complement it a little bit. Actually, it actually kind of works. I like it. It's an A minus. Let me know if I'm crazy, but I like the Houston kit. All right, next kit on the block here, we are going out to the left coast, the West Coast, with LAFC, and I'm not wild about this one, if I'm being honest with you, just partly because it looks exactly like one of the Saudi club's kits from this past season. I believe it's the Saudi club that Ronaldo plays for. Let me know in the comments. It's just, I get what they're trying here to make it kind of, gold and flashy and all that. It just does not hit for me, and it just does not work with this template very well. I'm gonna give this one a C. It's not the worst. Again, I kind of get what they're going for here. But this one doesn't even have a special title to it. It's just called the secondary kit. So, and quite frankly, it feels just very secondary in general. So, all right, Messi stands, rise up. I'm going to talk about your boy's jersey. Inter Miami, the Euphoria kit. So they went two-tone here with the vertical striping, the lighter and the darker pink. It looks like an Inter Miami kit. It's very pink. I like that, the two-tone vertical. Like, I gave the Atlanta kit some depths for going with that kind of contrasting look, and by virtue, I have to kind of do that here with Inter Miami as well. It's a good look that I like. It almost like completely, if you look at the jersey closely, the template almost gets just kind of buried completely in it. Like you can hardly tell it's actually using this template here, which I gotta give it some points for, honestly. It still looks like a unique kit. It's just very Miami. It's safe, you know, if I'm being honest, but it doesn't look bad. I'll give it a B. It's fine, but again, not one that I would buy now, especially because if you ever go to an Adidas outlet store, you can probably get yourself an Inter Miami Messi jersey from the last year or two for like $30. So like seriously, just wait. They're gonna overproduce these to death. You'll get one for cheap in about a year. Next one that we have coming up here is one that I liked last year, not one that I like as much this year, but it's still a good one, Minnesota United. Minnesota United really does a good job with their kits in general, I think, and this one's kind of no exception. I really like the Colorado kit for how it uses the blue and the different shades of blue. Minnesota also does I'm actually, as I'm looking at this more and I'm looking at a bigger image of it, where my eyes are right now, I'm liking it more, actually, as I'm looking at it here. It's a solid blue kit. You got the nice, kind of contrast in the middle with the white. It's got some gradient to it. Doesn't really play with the template very well, but that's kind of okay. They work around it. The collar is not my favorite on it, honestly. It's kind of like it's not a V-neck per se, but it's got like that short V to it. It's not my favorite type of collar, but I like it generally. Just for the fact that, just for the way it uses the different shades of blue, I'll give this an A. It might be a bit controversial because I was kind of dogging it at first, but as I was looking at it here, it kind of grew on me a little bit. And Minnesota's just one of those clubs that just rarely miss. So nice job, Minnesota. But I won't be buying it day one like I did with the Galaxy kit last year. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is a jersey that exists. This is CF Montreal. And this is going to make me sound kind of like a hypocrite here because, again, I like the Atlanta kit a lot. And I gave Miami some props as well. But to me, the black and the blue don't really work well together. I mean, it just, I don't know. It just looks very plain. Whereas like the red and black for Atlanta kind of works for me pretty nicely. And then, the contrasting pinks kind of work. This is just colors on a shirt, basically. The template doesn't work very well with it. I don't like what the striping does up in the shoulders here, where it just kind of abruptly cuts off. I'm not a fan of it. I am going to go... It's a blue kit, so I'll go C. It's like a C-, honestly. The fact that it's blue saves it for me, honestly. It could have been a D tier, honestly. It wasn't that far off. All right, next one that we have is the New England Revolution, a.k.a. don't call us Portland Hearts a Pine, even though we're going with a very pine-themed kit. In fact, the title of this kit is the 2025 Eastern White Pine Kit. This is one where they try to work with the template as well as they could, and they actually kind of sort of pull it off a little bit. You have the pine graphic down the middle. It is bracketed by the template itself. You have the blue that I kind of like the way this blue works off of the green of the pines. Like, I think it's actually pretty solid. It's a pretty sharp looking kit, if I'm being honest here. One that they put some thought into, which I always appreciate. I like this one a lot. Like, it's not going to be a day one for me, but I'm still going to put this one in S tier. I like this a lot. I think it was a very creative way to work around with the template, and I think the colors just work really nicely off each other. So, nice job, New England. Now we move on to Nashville. And this one, we're going back down here because it's the Heart of Nashville kit. And it's a plain jersey. It's kind of just plain. It's there. It's fine. I've has Nashville ever had a banger kit before? Correct me if I'm wrong. There's not been a single Nashville kit that I've looked at where I've just been like, take my money now. And this one's kind of no exception. It's boring to me. It's just kind of boring to me. And I don't see the effort in it. Honestly, I really don't see the effort in it. Here, pick 2 colors. Okay, here's where this color is going to go. And then the yellow is going to go where the template is. Great. Job done. Not a fan. That's a D tier for me. It does nothing for me. It does nothing for me. New York City FC is next. And here's a team that does put out, understated bangers. Like their home kit, their last home kit, I really liked the one with the subway cobblestone design on the front. I thought that was a really sharp looking kit, to be fair. This one is honestly, I like the effort in this one. You have some interesting shading going on here in the front. It's called the Excelsior kit, and I'm trying to, what is the motivation? So it's drawing inspiration from the city's iconic skyscrapers. The Excelsior kit reflects New York City FC's relentless pursuit of excellence and also celebrates the 10th year anniversary. I don't get skyscrapers off of this graphic, but it could be me. Maybe I'm just not getting the plot here. But I don't hate it. I think it is absolutely fine. I'm gonna go with a B. It's good. Actually, you know what? I'll give it an A because it's blue. That I know that sounds so sad, but that is literally my criteria, is that it's blue. It's fine. And I just realized something, actually. Not all the kits were loaded in this particular tier maker, so awkward. Okay, so I did find a tier maker that has all the kits, even has some of the third ones on here as well, so I'll go back and rate those as well. But as I said, New York Red Bulls is next up if we're going from NYCFC. And this one is kind of interesting. It's the 2025 Stone kit, and it's got kind of a stone design on the front here. It's all right. It's not bad. Again, the template doesn't really help it out very much. Like if this template wasn't here and they went with that stone design like all the way around, like that kind of like Italy had a marbled kit, a couple years ago that with marbling all the way around that looked really sharp. This could have been a sharp kit, but that stupid template kind of blocks everything up there. So get it, block stone. As it stands right now, I think it's okay. I mean, it's not a bad kit at all. I like the effort that was put into it. This looks like one of those kits that could be better in person. So, but because I don't see it in person right now, I'm gonna give it a B. It's fine. It's fine. It could be better. Now I have to go back and do another Inter Miami kit. This one is the Fortitude kit here. This black one here at the bottom. This one I don't like as much as the other one. It's a two-tone black kit. It doesn't have to work with that template, which is a plus, but it's just a black kit. It exists. It's a D tier for me. I don't see the appeal in it, honestly. It's just there. It's, again, you'll get it. Go to an Adidas outlet store in about a year or two, pick this up for $20. Staying in Florida with this one, we are going next to Orlando City and their Perfect Storm kit. Now, I mentioned that I really like blue kits. I also tend to rate purple kits very highly as well. I just like the color. I can't explain it. I just do. And this one's got a pretty nice design on the front. Again, could be better if it didn't have to work within the confines of the template here. But, you got multiple tones. You got the white stripes. I think those play well off of the lighter and darker purples here. This is a sharp one. And one that I could see myself picking up here, maybe when it goes on sale in a year or two. But I like it. It's an S tier for me. It just looks nice, and I think this is one that looks nicer. It's got some dimpling to it that reminds me a little bit of the Bruce Lee kit that Seattle put out a couple years ago, which I think is a fantastic kit. And this one with the textures going on here and the coloring, I like it. It's an S. Now we're going up to Philly with another one that I don't like as much as the Orlando one, but I really respect. This is the 2025 Voltage kit. I've never really associated Philadelphia with Lightning before, but we'll just work with it. It's got a pretty unique lightning pattern in the front here that, again, the template does kind of hurt because these horns just don't kind of make any sense with it. Like if they had made the horns just kind of blue, maybe that might be better, because they don't look like lightning to me. They don't look like electricity to me. They look like yellow horns. That's kind of what they are. But I appreciate the effort here. It is all blue, all yellow and light blue. This is one that this one might be one of those that's better in person, honestly. And I was going to give this a B, but the more that you know what, I'm still going to give it a B, because I don't think it's anything that I would wear personally, but it's a solid effort. I would say a B plus, I think, is fair for this one. Portland Timbers. I like this one. Forever Green and Gold kit. And I like you can't really see it in the small graphic here, but the front of it looks like basically the top of the stump, basically. It looks like the rings of a tree, basically, which, hey, it's Timbers. It fits, it works. Just looks like a very Portland Timbers kit. They stayed true to the brand. They buried the template completely. They just did not mess around with any sort of tones with those silly side horns, you know, like St. Louis, you know, they tried to make, you know, different shading with the St. Louis ones. Portland just said, nah, screw it, we're just not even going to deal with it. And I think that what they have here is a pretty good looking kit. It's a very Portland kit. I could see myself buying this one down the road, definitely, so I'll put it in A. I think it's a solid one. It's a very solid one. Next up, we have Real Salt Lake, aka Don't Call Us Indy 11, because the front checkerboard design definitely gives me Indy 11 vibes here. But it's called the Grid City kit, and the template doesn't do it any favors. I hate to say it, it just does not do it any favors here at all. I like the coloring on it. I mean, I think the colors work decently well off each other. And I get that they were trying to do something unique here, but to me, it just does not work with the template. The template just kind of mars it. So I'm just going to give it a C. I'm going to give it a C. It's kind of unfortunate. This could have been a better one, but the template did kind of hamstring it a bit. All right, we are moving on to San Diego FC, aka Low Effort FC, because I've never seen an inaugural club put as little effort into their jerseys as San Diego FC. I'm going to go with the one that I like better of the two, and it's the white jersey, because it does have some detailing up front. It has the blue accents kind of work off the white a little bit. It's just it's a basic white jersey in the end, though, so I'm going to give it a C. It's not the worst, but come on, San Diego, you can do better. Look at the San Diego Loyal. The Loyal had great jerseys. What's this? Like, what is this? And then this abomination is going straight in D tier. Like, what? Like, what is that? Like, others have talked about this jersey on this channel, probably ad nauseum at this point, that I'm not going to add anything you don't already know to it. It flippin' sucks. It just flippin' sucks. Next one we have on our list here is San Jose. And this one's interesting. It's a 2025 headliner jersey. I like it. It's definitely not a low effort jersey like San Diego's is. I like the effort with it. It's one that I would love to see up close, you know, because it's, you know, got all sorts of old newspaper clippings and things like that. I think if I was a San Jose fan, I'd be all over this. I mean, if I was a San Jose fan, this goes up in S tier. I would love this jersey if I was a San Jose fan, because it honors the past. It looks unique. It looks sharp. But I'm not in San Jose. I'm a casual MLS fan here that supports one club, this club, and it's not San Jose. But I appreciate the effort in it, though. I really do. It's just not something I'd wear personally. I'm gonna put it in B. Yeah, I'm gonna put it in B just because it's too niche for me. But I admire the effort for it. I really do admire the effort for it. One I just realized that I skipped from earlier because that old tier maker did not have this kit as an option. That was incomplete. LA Galaxy. I love this kit. As I mentioned, I'm kind of a sucker for a purple jersey. And this, I like this for the same reason that I like the Minnesota United jersey last year. You have contrasting colors working off of each other. It looks like a bit of a nebula a little bit. It's called the 2025 Ryzen jersey. I'm not sure what Ryzen stands for, but like to me, I've always wanted the Galaxy to kind of lean harder into like the space theme a little bit, and this one kind of this one's getting there. I think this is a very sharp jersey. I know this one's kind of divisive because people either really love it or they really hate it. I love it. It's an S, and one I would definitely see myself buying down the road. Absolutely, for sure. Anyone that's in the S tier, I will probably own at some point. A's are ones that I would consider, but S's are ones that I probably will own at some point. And those top four here, the Galaxy, Orlando, Revs, and Rapids, I will own at some point. It's just a given. Next one up here is we are going to do Seattle Sounders. Seattle Sounders, they rarely miss with their kits, and this one is not a miss for me. It's good. I like the design on it. It's the Salish Sea kit, and it kind of talks about water is sacred, preserving water. I like the message behind it. It's a little too dark for me, though. I think it's just a little too dark for me to put this in an S tier for me. And it also doesn't look like your usual Seattle kit to me. I mean, it's a good kit. It's not what I would expect out of Seattle necessarily, but that's not necessarily a bad thing either. I'd consider it. So I'll put it as an A- next to Portland. Actually, you know what? No, I'll put it in B. But it's a B+. Good effort. It's just a little too dark for me, though, I think, for me to consider it. Next one we have is, this one, St. Louis City. And if you saw my kit reveal video, you know that I think it's an okay jersey. I think it's better in person. I don't know how I feel about this button here, on the chest here. It just looks it looks like a way to, break up the red a little bit, but like Liverpool is unapologetically red, Man United's unapologetically red. It seems like St. Louis are trying to really hammer home the fact that they have this is our red. This is the only, shade of red in the entire Adidas line throughout the world. Like City Red is their red. They're owning it. It's just, for me, it's okay. It looks better in person. I'm wearing it now. I don't dislike this collar. I don't usually like collars in jerseys, but this is kind of a half collar, and it's all right, actually. I own it because the club gave me one. So, but I don't hate it. It's not one that I would necessarily buy right away, though. And for that, I'm going to put it in B. I think it's fine. It looks better in person. The replica, though, is absolute shit. And don't mess with the replica. It sucks. It absolutely sucks. Speaking of jerseys that you should not be messing with in general, Sporting Kansas. Yes, I'm biased. They're my rivals. But I've also one of the biggest knocks that I've heard on this kit is it's boring. And it is kind of reflective of the brand that Sporting KC has been the last couple of years, which is just boring. They just are kind of a boring club. And I don't say that as a St. Louis fan. I'm just saying this I've thought this even before St. Louis fielded a team. Like, it's just kind of, you had some hype early on and then just kind of like meh, just very meh. They tried with this one to, keep the hoops pattern, but the hoops just look kind of weird on it. It's a D. It's a D, and I would never own it. Not just because I'm a St. Louis fan, it's just because I just don't like it. Another red jersey here from Toronto. Toronto FC. I like the gradient a little bit. It's just okay for me. Like, I think it does the best it can with the template, with the different shading going on here. It's just kind of boring to me, honestly. And I would say I'm actually gonna put it as like a B minus. It's not terrible. It's fine. It's just not one I would rush out for. And finally, that leaves us with Vancouver Whitecaps. And this one, I don't know if this is emblematic of the fact that the ownership's trying to sell the club, but it just kind of looks It's the 2025, the peak jersey, and to me, it's not really peaking for me. It's just it's okay. It's a white jersey. It's a classic look, but then again, the template, I have to knock it down because the template just doesn't really work with it. So I mean, it's not like D tier bad. I'm gonna give it like a C tier bad. It just does not do much for me. So that wraps up the tiers. I think S tiers are Colorado, New England, Orlando, and LA. I love those kits. The bad ones are Chicago Fire, Dallas, Nashville, Inter Miami's black one, the home kit for San Diego FC, and Sporting Kansas City. I'm just not a big fan of those. And then the other ones are somewhere in the middle, and I feel, as I'm looking at this tier, I feel pretty good with my choices here, honestly. I could maybe go higher on Philly, but it's just nothing that I don't think I would wear personally. But was I too mean on your club and your club's jersey? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe if you actually enjoyed this. Some random dingus from the internet, rating your club's kit. You've probably seen a bunch of them by now. And if you're a Zombie Ultra, of course, thank you so much for your support throughout this whole venture of mine. Aaron, Brad, Bucket Hat, Chris Gebhardt, David, Jeremy, JT, Kane, Michael, and Peter, thank you so much for your support. It really does mean a lot. And hey, some of these clubs that I talked about, I might be visiting this year at some point. So being an Ultra helps me get to all these clubs and all these games, and just honestly just helps keep my internet bill paid. So thank you. This is your soccer zombie, Tom Franklin here. And if you're curious when I'm going to be visiting your club this year, or if I'm going to be visiting your club, I did this video previewing my 2025 plans right here. So your club might be in this video right here. This one right up here, believe it or not. I've made plans. So if you want to, find me in the parking lot because of this video, check this video out, and maybe I'll be there soon.